What's up, you guys? It's Sarah at carnivore.yogi on Instagram. Thank you so much for coming on to my YouTube channel. Please hit subscribe while you're here. So in this video today, I'm going to give you a full update on my carnivore journey, especially since I have switched to a high-fat carnivore approach. It has been right around 90 days now since I switched to that approach. I have some exciting news. I have some stuff that I'm not so happy about. So with everything, that I try to do on this channel, I'm going to tell you the whole story. And this is just a reminder that I am not a dietitian or a nutritionist or any of that stuff. I am not telling you guys, go out and do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just giving you my experience. And if there's anything that you can take from listening to my experience that might help you, then awesome. So let's jump right into it. 90 days, high-fat carnivore, good, bad, ugly. So let me get to the not so good first, because I know that everybody loves the not so good. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're positive. Maybe you're a positive person. But I am on YouTube, so I know people like a little bit of drama. So switching to high fat has not been a super weight loss plan the way that I had hoped it would be. I'm a vain person. I want to get back to a certain aesthetic. I do believe, however, I'm on my way there. But here's the thing. I've had to make a total mind shift. I just did a live stream on this past Monday. And my friend Vanessa, ketogenic girl, popped on at the last minute and asked a question. What are your health goals now? And I really appreciated that because I think that your health goals are important, and we prioritize weight loss, we prioritize these aesthetic goals, and then wreck our hormones. And I think that's really what had been happening to me. So just to restate my goals here, 17 months into carnivore, is to get my hormones rebalanced. I truly believe that rebalancing my hormones, getting my hormones in a good place, that the healing will occur. I'm also working to heal my histamine issues, which I'll get to in a little bit as well. But I think that when we work on healing the gut and letting our hormones go back into balance, that the weight loss will come. So the thing is, it's just not a quick process. And I tell people, as I have from day one, not to do the carnivore diet if you want quick weight loss. It just, some people may achieve that because they go into the diet metabolically healthy. But a lot of people are coming to the carnivore diet with poor metabolic health. I did. I had ovarian cysts. I was diagnosed with PCOS. My monthly cycles were extremely painful, but they did come on time. So they did come every 28. And when I switched to carnivore, I talked about this in a previous video, my cycles started getting very wonky. So they would either not come, or they would only last a few days, or if they did last the full 5 to 7 days, they were very uncomfortable and painful. So it was just weird. And then I would have a couple months where they weren't so bad. So I'd get excited, but it was never 2 months in a row, consistent, on time, not painful. It was just okay, that wasn't so bad, but was that even a full cycle, right? So now that I have been doing high fat carnivore for 90 days, again, as I said, aesthetically, it has not sucked the weight off of me the way that I wanted it to. Because of course, in the back of my mind, I kind of just still have that part of myself where I'm very vain and I want that. However, today, sorry dudes for talking about cycles so much, but it's just it's important. If you have a wife or girlfriend or woman in your life, if her hormones are off, then it's going to affect your relationship. Trust me. Trust me, ask my husband. What he's had to deal with me. He's a good guy. He's a wonderful guy. Anywho, today I got my cycle on time. And this is the 3rd month that I have gotten my cycle on time. So I am in that 28-day cycle. I'm so super excited about this. Super big shout out to my friend Stephanie Keto Person, who's coaching me. We have become really good friends, and she has been helping me troubleshoot a ton. So everything I'm telling you guys really is that I've learned from her. I'm doing what she says. I'm trusting the process. Trust me, she's had to talk me off the ledge a few times where I'm I'm just not losing weight, She's it's okay. We got to get your cycles back on track. We got to get you ovulating again. And that's happening now. So I'm very hopeful. So that is a big, exciting update, right? That's the good news. The other thing that I'm working on is my histamine intolerance. So histamines are very tricky. They can manifest in many different ways. And I think a lot more people struggle with histamine in spring and fall, obviously, because there's external histamines everywhere. I'm learning a lot about histamines, mast cell activation. There's just so much. It's like taking a dive down a rabbit hole. So I have been eating thymus pretty much every other day, and taking the Ancestral Supplements kidney supplement every morning, every evening. I'm doing a couple capsules twice a day. I'm also keeping those in the refrigerator. Now, this is another tip that Stephanie gave me, because she started Ancestral, like on the Ancestral Supplements, and was leaving them out on her countertop, and she started having a histamine reaction. And you start to know when you're having a histamine reaction, because I used to hear people say, oh, I'm having a histamine reaction, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what does that mean? It's different things for different people. For Stephanie, she would get these little pustules around her mouth. That's histamine for her. For me, histamine is a few different things. I mentioned on my avocado video, because avocados are very high in histamine. But I was getting heart palpitations from avocado and anxiety, like extreme anxiety, and that's a histamine reaction. I also get headaches from histamine. I get itchy scalp, itchy skin. That's a big one that I'm hearing from other people that I'm talking to out there in the community. They get really itchy skin, and I get eczema. So I think I mentioned it earlier in the video. I started having problems with eczema again after a long break from eczema, being on Carnivore in February of this year. And I think that can happen for a lot of people on Carnivore, that you go on, it helps you, but then things go awry. Either you are not eating fresh meat, maybe you're cooking something, leaving in the fridge and just eating off of it for a few days. I'm very guilty of that. Or you're having the same cut of meat constantly and you develop an intolerance to that. So what I've had to do, and this is again on Stephanie's advice, is rotate out my meats, try different meat sources. So I do lamb, I do wild-caught salmon, and be careful with seafood because those accumulate bacteria a lot quicker. I do different cuts of meat, and I've switched so that all the meat that I buy is from really White Oak Pastures is my main place I'm getting my meat. I'm also working right now with a couple local farms to stock up because we're all kind of worried about this meat shortage thing. So I'm developing relationships with local farmers, but I'm being very mindful about rotating those meats as well as getting in enough fat. Now, fat is harder to have a histamine reaction to, so you don't necessarily need to rotate out those fats, but the thymus, eating that daily and eating, or every other day really, and having the kidney twice a day, what that does is it helps to increase that DAO enzyme so that your body is better able to metabolize out those histamines. So I will be talking more about this on my channel. But I'm really excited because every year about this time, usually I get a runny nose, I'll get some hay fever, and that hasn't happened this year. So I do believe that what I'm doing with the thymus and the kidney in rotating meats, being mindful about that, is really, really working. So I'm happy with where I'm at. Like I said, good news and not so great news, but you take them both and you weigh it out. It's like, okay, there's so many people out there. This is the thing that is so tricky about YouTube and Instagram, is that there's so many of these fitness influencers out there and people who look great and they show off their abs and they show off their bodies and their hormones are in the toilet, but they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you if they're having a histamine reaction. They're not going to tell you if their skin's breaking out. They're not going to tell you if they're not sleeping. A lot of them. I mean, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing anyone come out until after the fact, like Stephanie Buttermore came out and so many other fitness influencers that were like super skinny, super ripped, and super lean have come out now after the fact, after they've changed things up and said they weren't getting a cycle, said they were cold all the time and hungry all the time and irritable all the time. So I'm trying my best, you guys, to be transparent, and I do take a lot of flack from that. I do have people that reach out to me and say, you're overcomplicating the carnivore diet, and they want to argue with me, and I'm like, look, go back and watch my old videos. I tried it the way that everyone says to do it. I tried eating the 2 pounds plus of per meat per day. I tried doing the fasting. I tried to not do electrolytes because people say you get your nutrients from meat, which is not accurate. You cannot get enough minerals from meat. You really just can't. Number one, our soil is extremely depleted. So what was your cow eating? Was it eating nutrient rich grass like they do down at White Oak Pastures from a regenerative farm? Or are you getting your meat from, is it CAFO meat from the grocery store? That meat doesn't have the potassium and magnesium that we are saying it does. It just doesn't have it. So being on an electrolyte routine has been extremely helpful for me, and being mindful of that stuff. So I hope this was helpful, guys. I know I kind of jumped around a little bit, but I did want to put out a video today. Things are a bit crazy here at home. I did have some respite care for my daughter, and I lost it this week. I have not had any help at all this week. It's been just me. I'm trying to run my business, stay relevant, stay in touch with you guys on YouTube and Instagram, and keep putting out content. But honestly, I've been really having a hard time emotionally, which is another reason why I'm probably not like seeing a ton of weight loss, because the more stressed out you are, the more your body's going to hang on to fat. So I'm working on it. Twice daily meditation, still haven't missed a session. I'm doing my yoga. I'm teaching yoga online. That helps me a lot to stay centered. I am doing a little bit of consulting right now, which also helps me to get out of myself and get out of that anxiety. But you know what? Like, we're all doing our best right now. It's crazy times. Hopefully I will get some help again, which will ease things up a bit. But right now has been super crazy. And my daughter is, for those of you who want to know, still keto. I'll try to do an update video very soon where I talk about that, about her still being keto, what we're seeing. She's eating the thymus too because she's got major histamine issues, which are still manifesting, but not as badly as they usually do. So that's good news. But it's challenging. It's very challenging, and everyone is kind of in a weird situation right now. So, I am sending you lots of love, lots of encouragement. I'm trying to do YouTube lives right now because recording these videos is hard. I had to sneak away to my car, get away from the family. I don't know what I'm going to walk back into in the house. So YouTube lives are a lot easier for me because it's just like I set a time, I set a topic, and we're good to go. So I'm trying to do those every Monday right now during, this crazy time. So watch out for those. Hop on live with me. I'm having an absolute blast interacting with you guys, with this YouTube crowd. I love you guys. It's so much fun, so much positive energy, to meet cool people. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. And I just want to keep on sharing my journey with you guys and being 100% honest and transparent. So again, I hope this was helpful, and have a really awesome rest of your day. Bye.